cloudy. I hope it's coming across okay to you. Is it? Just a minute. I'm sorry. Stay with me. I don't know. I thought maybe there was like something over my camera. Who knows? That looks a little better. Maybe it just was having problems focusing. All right, welcome. It is Monday morning here in our first Monday in November. So I'm really excited to be here today and had a very eventful weekend that namely involved chicken butchering. So we as a family have put together, and actually a lot of the work goes to my daughter who lives on a farm. They raise the chickens. We all pitch in for the cost of it. We're very excited to be able to raise our own food. And then of course comes D-Day. So we did 100 chickens and processed them, got them all ready and put them in freezer bags and had them all ready to go to the freezer by Saturday night. So that was our whole Saturday. So it was kind of an exciting, well, sort of gruesome weekend, but it feels good to have food in the fridge or food in the freezer for the winter, which is great. And we just split it up between us. So 100 birds, we got 30, my daughter and my son each got 30. And then one of my son-in-law's siblings got 10. So that was exciting. And everybody pitched in. Everybody was there. It was good to have the whole family there for the same purpose. It was kind of fun. It's a family that works together, stays together, right? So here we are. Welcome to my channel. This is Prairie Scraps. I am Dory, and I live here in the mountains of Idaho. We are actually quite remote we do have a couple little grocery stores. We have a Family Dollar. I've noticed the Dollar Tree sign has come off our Family Dollar. So if anybody knows what the deal is with that, I don't know if they're dropping. I think they've dropped the Family Dollar side of it. I don't know. I need to ask. My friend who's the manager there wasn't there when I was in there. So anyway, so that's the excitement in my little neck of the woods. I am going to craft with you today. We have November's Club Craft, which is all kinds of fun. But if you are new to my channel, please make sure you give me a little, well, new or old. If you've been here for a while, or even if you're new, please feel free to go ahead and give me a little thumbs up and any kind of help out that you can do that way. I am a small business owner. This helps me pay the bills, right? And not only that, it's a little craft therapy. I hope to give you ideas on how to make crafting fun and easy to do and reachable. And so today's craft is going to be our monthly club craft project to show you how that goes. And let me get a drink here. I had a coffee, but every time I bring my coffee out, it just kind of gets hot. I can see, like, I have a plastic bag kind of in front of my heater there. All right, so this is the club project this month. It is called Winter Wonderland November Club, and I'm kind of excited. One of the things I find with the club is that sometimes this would not be the project that I would choose for this particular transfer. Like, I usually love all of the transfers, and you can tell how much I love it by how many times I use it in different ways throughout the month. But this one, I have to say, I love the transfer. This may challenge my abilities for doing crafting, because I kind of have a style. I like to just do more monotone farmhousey type of projects, and this one we might end up with a little bit more complications. So all right, so this is the transfer, and I love me a snowman. Last year, all of my all-time favorite transfers so far in the winter have been the snowman. I love snowmen. I have a collection of snowmen. Put a little snowman down below if you love snowmen. I'd love to hear from you. But it's got trees. It's got this little sled. Oh my gosh, love that sled. So I could see lots of potential for that sled alone. I also see lots of potential just for the snowman alone. So I think, all the parts of this are just giving me lots of crafting vibes. And so this is an exclusive transfer. You cannot purchase this separately. So you have to join the club. If you look down below, I do have all the links for everything. So I won't talk about that, but take the link. It'll show you everything. You can even see videos and see all the things. I'd love to have you in my club. I really love getting a craft project, craft therapy in the mail every single month. So this is the surface. Every month you get an exclusive transfer, a surface, and 2 or 3 paste packets. And this month it is 3 paste packets. Let me show you those. There's a bright white, there is a black velvet, and this is the color of the month is called Something Borrowed. So I'll probably be using this. These are single packs, although be prepared, it will go way further than single packs. So be prepared for that, you know, use your transfers somewhere else. Wash up those transfers. These are reusable transfers. And then when you join the club the first month, you will get a mini squeegee along with it, which is also washable. But if you're like me, I like to have like a whole container, a whole container of squeegees on hand so that you can keep going without having to wash in between. Sorry, I'm like making a mess this morning. Monday morning, make a mess, right? Monday morning crafting. All right, so we're just going to open this up. I'm going to show you this surface, and then you get this surface. So you get a transfer, 2 to 3 pasters or inks, and you also get a surface. So this is the surface, and as you can see, only one edge of the surface is together. And a lot of times they do that so that there's something about the way it's packaged in the mail. So they have all these sides. So what we have here, though, is, I don't know if you can see this. So one side is already on here. And then 2 others. This is going to make it easier for doing our project anyway. So we will do these last. But do you see this goes around the outside edge? And there's another one that's angled. So we have our frame for around the outside. But this is the genius part. Isn't this so cool? It's going to make a window pane by piecing in these parts. This kit actually includes the little double-sided tapes to put all those down. And trust me, when you get these things down, you cannot get them off. Hello, Raina. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here for our little crafting club today. So those are all the different pieces. I don't know that I want them to be anything but brown, so maybe I should. I was thinking about doing like a wood, kind of a wood surface with it. I'm trying to think where my wood, if I have a wood pattern. I think my one wood pattern is ginormous, so I don't want to use that. So we'll see what we've got here. I think I've got patterns in here. I might be using extras today. You get a kind of a fun little go-to project today, maybe. We'll see. All right, so I kind of keep a lot of my patterns together. I love this one. It's kind of like, it's an older one. It's called 4 Textures, and it's got kind of a crisscross on it. There's some dots. This one's kind of got a weave on it. That one I've used as well too. I like that one as well. So I just kind of keep all my patterns here. These came in 18 by 18, so these are from other transfers. So you can mix and match. Here's my fall ones. Let's see what we got. Oh, I've got ones that I haven't even used. And then one of my favorites, this one is I think that might be it. I don't know. These are my Christmas holiday ones, I think. Just all kinds of patterns we've got here going. I've got some like candy cane. Could put music around there. I don't know. I've got another pattern up here that I have never used. Just a minute. Sorry. I think for now we're gonna leave it brown. I may have to come back and I'll just have to tape it off, I guess. I don't know. I was thinking that with these all apart, we'll see how it looks. I don't mind the brown, the craft look. And then there is some little pieces up here. This might be the reason they attach these, because those little screws probably go in there. So you have a way to hang this. All right, so let's get going, right? You're like, just get going already. All right, so this is the first time I've used this transfer. So the first time you use a transfer on anything but fabric, you do want to fuzz it to make sure that you get it nice and ready to go. My gosh, I've got things piled up, you guys. Piled up. Oops. Thankfully it's cold because apparently I left my wipes open. Okay, so I've got a clean fuzz cloth here to get the fuzzing going here. And this just makes it so it's not so sticky that it won't come off of our surface. So, and I think I'm going to just start with white over this whole entire transfer. And I may have to come back and do the black outline. We will see. I'm going to do white first. Again, this might be a double project just because I want to do it justice. And sometimes you can use them a second time, but this one might work better if you do it in 2 sessions. Wash the transfer in between. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I think I've only seen one other of this done, so I don't know, might be one of the first people to, one of the first designers to do this. So I think I'm just going to be okay with going down. Oh, maybe I need to just go up to the edge of this. I'm going to line up that anything that's green is what's not going to show. So I'm going to think about this a little bit because I want to think through it. I think it'll be better, yeah, to line up the top edge because there's kind of like, can you see that? There's a square edge. I'm going to put that up on the edge of the frame. And so this will look like it goes underneath. And then all of our transfers are nice and centered. So you don't usually, other than centering it on your piece, you do not have to find the center point, which is also nice. Let's see if I can get this straight. There we go. We are in full-fledged. I think I want to make sure I don't go underneath that at all. So the sticky part is also part of the green. So I don't want any air bubbles, and I can see where I've got kind of an air bubble here. Because it's a screen print, I think shadows are playing with my head here a little bit. I need to move it down just a little bit because I don't want it to go up onto the frame. Get it. I'm still going up. This will be I promise, this is the hardest part, lining it up. But it is centered on the transfer, so you don't have to worry about that. That's the nice thing about it. So if you go side to side, top to bottom, you should be fairly lined up. If that makes sense. And if you're really worried about it going up the edge, like I think I'm going to get it on here. I'm an optimist. Let's just say that. I think I'm going to get it on here just right so that this top line is on the edge of the frame. That's my optimism. I think I can do it. I'm going to do another trick when I do the pasting as well. I'm going to make sure that I pull away from that edge as opposed to, I won't push the paste that way. I will bring it this way. So I'm going to use my jar of paste. I'm just going to go with that. I think I've got it down there. I want to get all the bubbles out. And like I said, I'm going to wing it. And I think too, I'm going to end up going over this again. Why does the husband call? Oops, we got that crooked after all. I could see it down here. I've got it on crooked. Can't do crooked, can we? This is going to be the bad thing. He is going to start, when he can't get me, he starts messaging me. He'll start calling. Calling. Then I wonder where my kids get it. My daughter that's home, do you guys ever have kids do that? If you don't answer their phone call right away, they'll start calling. It's like, leave me alone. Okay, so there it is. Let me show you that. I've got it on there. I think I've got it pretty straight. Now I'm going to go with it. All right, so we're going to put you down a little bit so you can see that better. And I'm going to use my own white paste for this project, just because, you know, I don't need to open up a paste packet. Oh my goodness, I was so far out of paste that I had a really big harvest party, like online party last week. So if you are waiting for your, oh shoot, that just squished. That did not stay put. So I'm having to hold this down a little bit because it is definitely pulling the screen, because there's nothing sticky in this this upper part, and I've not really got it sticking very well. With paste, this is a non-toxic paste, so this is a fun project for kids. If you want to do a craft project with your kids every month, this is a great way to do it. This is going to be all white. This is going to work out nice because there's, you know, a snow line here, so there'll be a nice white snow line going on. Just trying to get it nice and even here. Feels like there's like sand on there or something. I don't know. But you do want to work kind of quickly on this because you don't want the paste to dry in the screen. Because if you let it dry, when you peel to reveal, it will just kind of lift up. Here we can go the other way. We don't have to keep going the same way. I don't know why it works better towards me than away from me. So that's what I'm going to do. We are going to get this on as smoothly as possible. Fill all the areas. Take off any extra. See that little bit there that I just kind of smushed on there? And we're going to peel that off and just make sure that we have a nice even edge here. There we go. It might have bled a little bit because I did have some air bubbles there. Try to get any extra off. Put it back in the jar. If you're using the singles packet, go ahead and mix up that singles packet really good before you open it, and then just cut the corner off, and you can squeegee it right onto your squeegee, or squeeze it right on your squeegee. All right, here we go. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, I love that. Love, love, love. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that looks so nice. So like I said, this transfer is reusable. So all you have to do is take it to the sink and wash it with just plain water. I like to use a board eraser on it just for a little bit of friction. And that's what you do to get it clean. I'm going to get a wipe here to get it off my fingers. But you can see now we have the outline. And I don't know, I'm thinking about doing some colors here. But first we want to get this good and dry. And actually, I don't think it turned out so bad up here. I didn't get it up on that edge, but isn't that beautiful? I just love it. You could totally leave it like this, but of course we want to use that blue, right? And I actually think I'm going to use this for the outline. I think I'm going to paint in my snowman so that it is white as well. And go over it again with that transfer, because you see anything that's white right now, that if I went over this with black, it totally would be black. So that's what I'm going to do. And maybe it would have been easier to paint the whole thing white and then do the black over it. That might have been smarter. But we're going to do some painting. We're going to do a little painting. I'll show you how to use that singles packet here shortly. Okay, let's get this dry. It's so pretty, isn't it? Hello, Purple Humboldt. Thanks for joining in. If I don't catch you and say hi right away, that's okay. I will go back if you have any questions and answer any questions that come up on the video. I apologize. You know, we're crafting here. I'm trying to help you out by showing you all the craft things, the crafty things. I think that looks great. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I want this to be nice and dry. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think we're going to do a little bit of green here. Let's do some pesto. I want to paint in these trees first. I think that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, maybe not some pesto. This is thick in here, but it's... Let's see if we can get some... I don't know if I can get some. Because these pastes are water-based, you can totally get them, you know, use water to... This top area, I need to look at that. What is going on here? Is that this part right here? I think it should have been white and it lifted. I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide. So, but I'm going to use this white now as an outline so that I can paint on it. And actually, what I might do is, before I get too far into this, I'm going to give that water some... So you just add water. You can use these for watercolors. Let me do this first. So I am going to use a wipe and wipe this down so that I can reuse this transfer right away without going inside and doing a second session. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm kind of having regrets. I'm actually rethinking this. Because I've not seen anybody else do this. This is my own making. So you guys can learn from my mistakes or learn and do what you like with it. But I'm kind of thinking that it might be nice to, I'm just putting a little bit of water on here so that it's a little bit more movable. So these are totally washable, and I would normally do this in the sink, but I'm going to do it real quick here on the backing. Just get this, and you can see I'm making a white winter white mess here. Just get this cleaned up so we can use it again, I think. But what I want to do is kind of use this as an outline on the second round. I'm going to flip this over and get the back side as well as the front side because we don't want the white. I think I need a new wipe. Just want to get off anything that kind of loosens it up from the back. This is the sticky side. So we just want to get that off as much as we can. There we go. And I'm going to set this over to the side, get the backing clean. So when I put it back on, we're not like making everything all wet or all white again. Although I've now made my surface this way. All right, I'm going to stick that back on. And we are going to do one more good wipe on the front. And I do this, oops, this is the back. Sorry. I do this the same way. I go front in the sink, running it underwater, and then front, do the back to loosen it, and then do the front again. So I'm kind of just doing the same process I would do in the sink, just without the water part. And it ends up being a lot more messy because I'm getting my work area kind of dirty and wet here, but I think it's gonna, the time will pay off here because we want to craft. All right, I'm setting that over there. That'll start drying. I will get another wipe here, wipe my surface so we don't get white paste. The nice thing about the paste is it is water-based, so you can add water to make it watercolors. You can wipe it off of things and get things cleaned with just adding, even if it dries, add a little water to it and it will reactivate that paste and you can do it. Okay, back to our trees. Back to the trees, right? So I often like to watercolor right into my lid because there's always some like little goobies of the paste in my trim, but I'm going to see if I can get some working paste here too, because I want it to be darker. I want it to look like trees. see if we can. So this, it's okay if you go over that white, because that anywhere you see the white on this paper or on this backing, we are going to be able to go over that with like a little brush sticking up, and I don't want it to color my skyline. We can go back over it and redo the outline. Why? Why, oh why? I have like one brush bristle kind of going up in the air, and I want to go all the way out on this. Anywhere there's brown, that's what I want to be colored with green. So I'm not so worried about the white areas as I am with the brown areas, but I don't want to go. I'm not good at this. I will say, if you're a better painter, this is a great project to try. If you like to paint, you will like this project a lot more. This is why I don't do a lot of the painting, because I don't really like to do in the lines. I'm not good at in the lines. I don't know what that says about me if I don't like to follow in the lines. So it was just so amazing to like have my kids all together this weekend. Like, even if we're doing like a common work project together, it sure was fun to see all my kids and work with them. And they are such hard workers with good work ethics. I don't ever have to like be like, get back to work. Of course, you know, most of them are adults now. I only really have power over one, but still, I just appreciate that all of my adult children are hard workers, which really was the goal that my husband and I had, was to train our kids to be hard workers. And I have to say, kids are not great at being hard workers anymore. So this color paste you will not get, and that would be okay. I think if you painted this entire thing in white, you could go over it with black as an outline, and I think it will be okay. When I go over this, I'm going to go over it in white so it looks like there's snow on the trees. Hope that makes sense. All right. And as this dries, it may dry kind of lighter than I really intended, so we may have to go over it again. I can already see, like, there's some areas where this, not bad for a kind of dried up paste, actually. Just add water in there. If your paste gets dry, which it can because you've got air in the paste once you start using it, and if you, you know, like the greens, usually I use a ton of at Christmas time. And then I'll use a little bit, not the dark greens all summer long in spring, you know, when I'm doing spring projects. So sometimes I'm just sort of tapping on these to try to get some of those more brown areas, because I really do want it to be green. Okay. All right. And I guess it's really okay, because I'm going to end up going out. It's okay to go outside the lines, even on the edges, even though I was trying not to. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to have to go pretty close to these edges anyway with the white, so I might as well just do the whole white instead of worrying about trying to go exactly in the lines. We're going to be able to go back over it and color it in. So I just want to get the coverage of the green so it doesn't look brown. Because pine trees are green even in the winter, except tamaracks. They turn colors. Okay, I think that's it. Then we want to, I'm going to grab a different one. I want to do the white as well. I'm going to do the snowman in white. So I'm just going to go back to my same white. And you could use your white that you get in this project if you wanted to do, like I said, you could totally like paint in your entire snowman with white. I didn't even use water for this, so I'm sort of just using a full thickness of paint here. And it doesn't matter if you go over the top of these buttons, because like I said, I am going to go over this snowman in black, which also comes with the kit. And then every month we do have a new color of the month, and you do have to make a purchase in order to be able to purchase it. And the blue that we're going to use for this is the color of the month. So get a chance to see that, which is kind of fun. They included that when it came in the, because I get, as a designer, I get to get these kits ahead of time. And when it came in the mail, I was like, something borrowed. I have not seen this color before. So that was pretty exciting. All right, and I don't need to color, I'm gonna color in the scarf with a different color. So I just want this to be nice and smooth and colored in. Trying to smooth it out. Now we need to get the snowman's face. And again, he's gonna have charcoal eyes and charcoal face. And I think what I'm gonna do is I will do orange on his nose. I really like the snowman with the orange. I've tried them with like black outlines. It's just not as exciting. Let's just say that. Okay, I think all of this blank space here, I want to do it in the blue. The something borrowed. Make sure, if you haven't already done so, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I go live. And I really appreciate that. I love being able to share with you all the crafting things. This little sled, I'm going to leave those slats in, I might have to go between the slats in blue. That might be the challenge, but we're gonna get into this blue, I guess, and get a little tray out. You could use just a paper plate for this. And when you get these packets, go ahead and make sure you mush them all together so it's all thoroughly mixed up. You could tear this, but I like to just cut the corner of this off, and then if I don't use everything, I'll just let this get a hard edge of paste. And I'm just going to put a little bit here into this little tray, a little bit at a time, because I don't want it to, I don't want to use more than, I don't want to have more exposed to the air than I have to. Because if I can use it a second time, I will. There's enough. So we are going to, I think this is going to just go ahead and work for me. I'm going to try it down here and see what it looks like. Ooh, that is a beautiful blue. And I want to go all the way out to the edge, because remember, we're going to have that. I guess it doesn't matter if we go right up to this sled. But I want the inside of the sled to be brown. So I'm just going to try to paint in as far as we can. And it's okay with me if it kind of shows a little bit of the background, you know, brown through. If it's not like I don't mind if this blue something borrowed is kind of see-through, because to me that looks like it's a little bit of snow, but you can do whatever you want. Definitely using a lot more than I thought I would. So we'll just keep adding more. Oops, don't want it like that. I want it to be propped up. Get it off of there. But that little edge will kind of dry hard on there. So we're just going to go nice and around this. This is where I'm like holding my breath a little, because I do not paint in the lines very well because I have carpal tunnel. So if you can relate and have maybe arthritis or carpal tunnel, you can know that it's still okay to craft. This is not as repetitive. If you do it in little bits at a time, you're totally okay. You don't have to do everything at once. This could be done in a couple of sessions. And you're totally gonna still have a fun time, little craft therapy. Most of our club projects do not necessarily involve any painting. So this particular one, you're probably gonna want, well, I am just gonna go over his arms here because it's harder to try to go around them. It's just quicker to, of course, I'm giving everything a chance to dry here. Go right up to it. And I kind of think there's like a gap here. Kind of think he needs blue around in his gap. There's a gap around it. So again, I think it's mostly okay. I keep hearing cars come. Oh, that car. That car actually sounds like it has studs on it already. No. We kind of have this. You can wear studs and chains on your cars here from like, I think it's October. I'm just going to go over his hands here in the blue and kind of blend into the green because I don't know. Sometimes I don't know exactly where the colors stop and end, and then I paint it wrong, but it's okay. It's crafting, right? It's supposed to be fun. That's one of the things I think, if you can kind of let go of the fact that not everything turns out absolutely perfect. Oops, I did not necessarily want the inside of that. If everything is not exactly perfect, it's okay. Like, it'll be okay. It's just crafting, right? Let's get some more something borrowed. This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse, and that's what I kind of like about the craft club. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner crafter or an advanced crafter. I would say I'm more of an advanced because I make crafts, you know, I've been doing it for so long, and I, you know, do sell my crafts at craft shows and during the holiday season. And so it doesn't matter, these craft clubs, like, I gotta have the next one. I love it. It's so much fun. And I'm just gonna go over here a little bit on the snow. Whoops, I didn't mean to gob it up. Let me show you what I'm doing here so you can see. It's kind of like it looks like I'm painting like a hot mess, right? The only one I'm gonna have to be really super careful about is gonna be this, well, I would have liked to have brown in between that stick, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's okay, it's crafting. And everything is fixable, so we can always go back and paint again, fix it, go back and forth until we get it the way we want it to. But it's so funny to me when people say they hate I always know the people that hate crafting are the people that are perfectionists. I'm like, is it because you had a bad experience, or is it because you want it to look perfect? Because 9 times out of 10, it's because they're perfectionists and they don't want a mistake. They don't like mistakes on their craft projects. I want to make sure I have this blue over here. Okay. And I think it's okay if it just sort of looks like it goes off into the distance here. Just want to make sure it's covered. And so I find that funny. I actually think, like, I'm always kind of thinking about the therapy side of things. Like, I think if that's you, if you like to have things, I'm going to bring this over this way so I can paint a different way. But if it bothers you to have something not turn out perfectly so much that you refuse to do something, I think you need to work through that. Like, let it go a little bit and learn how, like, do crafting a little bit more so that you aren't frozen by it. Like, unless I guess you want to keep your demons. I mean, I get it. I'm a perfectionist, so I like things to look a certain way for sure. But, you know, crafting is meant to be enjoyed. It really is. And if you can't enjoy it, it's time to, like, start thinking about those reasons. What are the reasons why you don't like crafting? And are you willing to start moving on in your life? All right, here we go. I'm going to go right up to this edge so that there's no brown around it. But I do, and then I think I'm going to have to look at this really closely so that I can see. I'm going to assume that the whole base of this is brown. That's what I'm going to assume. That there's no air coming through, that there's like a second layer to this deck. That's what I'm going to assume. And then I'm just going to do these spaces. And this is not, I'm telling you, this is not easy for me because I have carpal tunnel. Like right now, I can't feel my fingers at all. But it's all good. We want to craft. We want to craft, right? So we had a friend of ours, close friend of ours, guy that works with my husband, passed away. A kid, 17-year-old kid, fellow homeschooler, passed away on Friday night, on Halloween night. And so I'm trying to think of what to bring. I didn't mean for this to be so morbid of a conversation, but what do you bring for a meal? They are vegetarian, so they don't do any, I don't think they do eggs. They don't do cheese. What do you make? Like I have kind of my casseroles, my go-to casseroles, if you would, to so to speak, that I normally do. Okay, so look, I know it's looking like a big blob, right? Looking like a big blob, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out. Okay, so we are done with that, and let me see if I can find another. Tell me if you have any ideas for what do I make for a family, possibly lots of visitors. While they're grading, I want to be able to make them something. So let me know if you have any ideas. I'm trying to find some skinnier. I guess I have some here. Now I want to do this. This one work? Maybe this one. I want to do the scarf and the hat in like a burgundy or a red of some sort. Oops, that's ink. Don't grab ink. Don't be doing that. What do we got here? I wonder if this is working. Not really. I think that one might be done. Tell me if you've got ideas for what to make that are vegetarian. I'm really bad at that. It's like, I guess I could make a rice, but everything I could think of has like milk and eggs, and I thought egg bake. No, that's not it. Cheese, you can't make pizza. Even like I could make a vegetarian pizza without the cheese, but I don't know. I guess I could go get some vegan cheese or something. All right. Cabernet is the color. I don't know. I have Napa too. Let's see how this one's working. So I'm grabbing a red. You wouldn't have to do this. You could do the whatever you want. It's nice to have a little collection. If you are in the club and have a little kind of a collection of colors even, you can use one of the other colors maybe you had saved. Maybe I want it a little thicker. All right, so we're going to just do the inside of this in this kind of reddish color. And again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really have to be inside the lines. I mean, obviously, I don't want to go down the middle of the snowman. We just want to get those brown spots. The spots that are brown, that's what I want to get painted. And the hat, I'm trying to decide if I need to do orange on the carrot. The nice thing about doing this all in white is that I definitely was, I'm able to see on the craft color where the outline is. So this could potentially need a few extra colors. And so if you're in the club, you probably have a couple extra colors kind of hanging around from last month, you know, that would help. Like last month we had a red that came out. That would be perfect. I think cherry came out last month with the ornaments. So last month we did ornaments, which was a lot of fun. Oops, I made a mess here because I dumped that water all over. I'm going to try to get most of that off because it stains. Red stains, orange stains. I can talk. It's Monday. Really, I can talk. Oh, goodness. It's already 11, you guys. Oofta. I've used up my time. I was going to do something else. I was going to show you, because we have Black Friday sales going on right now, and I was going to show you some of the Black Friday sales that were going on. This is called marmalade. I don't know. I didn't know marmalade was orange, but it's all right. I'm going to try it here. So anyway, Black Friday is every single week, all of November for Chalk Couture. So let me know if you put BF down below if you're interested in being on my list. Oh, I see a blue spot that I missed. I feel like I'm going to find more right here. Right there. Ooh, it sounds like it's raining outside. Kind of a overcast. Yep, definitely raining. Kind of got overcast on me while I was in here. So anyway. I'll get this a little bit better here. To the edges. I think that gets it. I'm just going to assume that was all brown. Okay. Let's try to lay this down. I think this is going to be the quicker part of it. I say that, right? Let me get that dry before shouldn't be too wet. This does look wet though, the greens. And I'm going to do this part. I'm not going to do the whole thing. As I lay this down, I'm going to peel to reveal over and over and over again. And what we want to see through here is the white. So that's what I'm trying to line up. We want white to be through for the most part. Of course, we colored over the lines in some places. So, and that's gonna give us a little grace, I think. There we go. And I don't need it to stick down all the way here, but I do want it to be down, you know, pretty good there. Okay. So starting down here, I am going to use some brown, I think. This is espresso. I don't know if it looks... We're using quite a few colors today. I would like to make my sled espresso, I think. This one might be it. I had it out. Lo and behold. And so I'm going to use a mini squeegee for this part of it. And get that brown. To outline that sled, I think will be pretty. I love this espresso. It's one, oops, don't get the snow, Dory. I love this espresso. It is so pretty. You could also use the black that comes in this kit, but I am just doing some, as long as we're several colors in anyway, I'm just going to go for it. And then the other thing I want to do is grab my tool, and I am going to try to do these. You could also use a brush if you want to get this in. Oh, I see a little bit of scarf here that I didn't do. So I might just do the whole scarf in red. But first I'm going to do the arms in brown. And before this dries, because you want it to stay wet, so we're going to just peel to reveal this sled. Let me show you that. See? Isn't that pretty? Pretty. Pretty, pretty. A little bit of white showing through there. I guess I didn't get it there. I missed. Let's see. There we go. That was better. Okay, I think I'm going to use this. I'm just going to use the brown in a brush. I haven't done this before, but I have seen people do this, some of my other designer friends. That's the great thing about being a designer is you get lots of ideas from friends. Oh goodness, it actually kind of sounds like it's thick out there. It sounds like it's snow. Blah. That is a swear word. I guess it's opportune that I'm doing a snowman right now. So I'm just trying to get those sticks done here because I want just the little sticks done in brown. Since we're doing it. I don't know, I've never used a brush in this I always use the all right. I'm gonna go up to the arms here. Well, that didn't work very good. You can see where I used the squeegee on that side and it worked out really nice right here. That worked out good. But these, it just doesn't push it hard enough into the cracks. So I'm just gonna go back over it now with my squeegee and see if that helps. So unfortunately, this may be a little on the messy side, but thankfully it's not very thick here. So let's put that aside. All right, we'll try that again. Better, better, better. Better cheddar. Okay. Now I want to use the same tool. So this tool, I'm just kind of using it like a brush, just not a brush. It's got just a little bit more oomph to it when it pushes it in. So I'm going to do this part where the scarf is in the red and the hat in the red. So I'm just kind of taking little by little. We're going to go through. Maybe I shouldn't do the red first. I'm thinking, well, we'll let it dry real nice. Get this red scarf done. And the only reason I was going to just outline the scarf in black, just like the rest of it, but the reason I am doing it is because I missed this section of the scarf here in red, and I don't want to go back and do it. But you could. No worries. There we go. Just get that scarf in there, and then get the hat. And sort of paint in the lines here. It's a little more awkward. Oops. A little red there. Get the hat nice and red. Oop. I went out. So we'll have to fix that a little bit. This is actually not a real red, but you could use any flavor of red you have. Any flavor. Okay. Peel that to reveal it. Nice. I guess it's not as outlined as I would like it just because I painted it red. So I think this part would look nicer all black. Not gonna lie. All right. This part I am going to do white. Or should I just do it black? I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to try this section black and see how it goes. And then maybe I'll just do the rest in black. I'm having second thoughts here. I'm not going to lie. Let's see if we can find my black. That's... Gray would be nice. I do have the singles packet, but I think that's my black. All right. Had to go deep there. All right, I am going to do this snowman in black and see how it looks, and then maybe decide on doing the rest of it. So make sure you get all the bubbles worked out. I kind of went there on the snow stuff. Of course, we want Cole on his buttons, so that's all good to be black. I love me a snowman. Now, you could do this on fabric with ink. And I think that it would just be fabulous. And you could use the, I'm going to use my tool again. You could use embroidery floss to do any part of this that you wanted. So you could do a scarf only, just do a little scarf on there. I'm just gonna try not to smear into that red. So go towards the red. I'm going over his nose. I know I did orange under there, but I'm just gonna check and see how this looks. Yep, as I thought. I think it looks better to go over it in black. And there, I think it just gives it more definition. So I'm gonna, ooh, I just used red across it. Dang it. I rubbed my finger in red across it. So we're gonna do, remember I said I wanted white on these trees? I'm gonna just wipe this off and hopefully that will get it out as best we can. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm just gonna do, I wanted this tree line to be white, so I'm gonna start with that and then I'll come back to the black. Come back to that. Make sure this is down. I was trying to get all the air bubbles out and that was a disaster. Okay, so I'm just gonna go from this line right here and do the white. I guess I could have done this with a squeegee. And hopefully that red mark will kind of come out, be covered by white. I'm gonna see how this works out. And any of those, this will sort of matte. Whoops, I got red in here in the tree as well. Go thick on there. I might have to do another round of white here. And I know that I had not so great white coverage right over here. I'm going to do that again. But the cool thing is like, you know, all the places, you guys saw it, it was kind of like a blobby thing. It's no longer going to be blobby. We're going to have this nice and even coverage because we're out. I've got a lot of red going on here though. So I might have to come back another day. Okay, so I'm going to leave this bottom portion now and peel to reveal and see how that came out. Yeah, it definitely leaked underneath. I'm going to use some green. Do you see? Look at, I love the detail though. I love the white on the trees. And I love the black on the snowman, but it did leak black. I don't love the black on the nose. I'm not going to lie. I do this every time, like, so I'm going to kind of pick up, it's kind of pooled there. So I'm going to pick up some of that there, but I'm going to take and try to cover this, because this is a boo-boo right there with green. I don't know, he's kind of smeary. I should have waited maybe, and this is where if you can leave it for a day, it might have paid off, because now I'm making a mess out of that. Black just reactivated and made it darker there. Just trying to tap at it, so I've got kind of a mess because I'm being impatient. If you would let it dry completely, I don't know. However, I do think this turned out really nice, the trees. Look at the trees. Aren't those nice? But I don't like his green nose for sure. We need to get it dry so it stops smearing and making things worse. I do think I'm going to go over the entire head except the nose with black. I don't like the black nose. This is a challenge to me. So I think I'm going to have to, I know what I can do. I can take, there's a lot of black in this area right here. So I need to take that off. I'm going to wipe it off and get it off so that I can put my orange there. Maybe I'll even take the red off as long. It's all fixable, right? It's just crafting. There we go. Oops. Don't take it off. I like to leave my transfer kind of stuck there so that it, I keep my position. I don't have to keep repositioning it all anew. So that's why I'm kind of being cautious here about and leaving it on there. I'm trying to get off some of the extra red here. Ugh, we are making a mess of the trees, but I do know I need to get in here with the white, and I need to get in there with black too, and the orange. So, ugh, this is way more I kind of knew it was going to be labor intensive. I think I'm going to do this over here in white. I don't necessarily like the black there, so I'm going to go over it. A lot of times if you just go back over it in white, it'll be just fine. The white's pretty strong, can cover it up. And we want the nice outline of the snow. There we go. All right, hopefully this will... Trying to get going on Mondays. It's not easy. And we want this white over here. I just want it to be white and just that pale blue, really, everywhere else. So I'm just getting the snow here. Put that back in. Pick up the excess. All right, let's do some peel here. Just really faint is that white. I like it. That looks nice and neat. Nice and neat. Now I need to get up around this snowman in white. I'm going to do that around his nose. I'm going to get these trees again because I can still see red. We don't want red. Okay. Just keeping my finger up here so that it doesn't, I think that looks better. It kind of draws away. But yeah, his nose is way too black. Way too black. We don't like it. Trust me, we're going to fix it. And even if I have to come back, like, you'll get the idea here today. I'll show you, give you the idea. Get you back here. I'll definitely be working on, I'll come back after I get it all washed and dried and fix it and then post pictures on my Facebook VIP group, Prairie Scraps, or my business page. And all right, let's get this black. Oh my goodness, dark black nose is terrible. I think once we put the orange over the top of it, it'll be great. That's what I'm hoping anyway. That's what I'm hoping, and that is called marmalade. I'm definitely making a mess. It's not crafting. You're not having fun unless you're making a mess, right? Oh, that's so much better, right? So much better. Okay, so now we're going to go back with our black, and I'm going to redo this scarf, and right there, I got a little bit too happy there. So scarf hat in black, because I want the black outline. Let me set this aside. And I have plenty left in this Something Blue borrowed pack, so I'm just going to let that dry, and I will use that in the next little bit here. I know this is kind of a long one. I apologize. Yeah, a little over an hour. So if you've hung out this long, or if you've gone forward, I really appreciate you. Either way. All right, let's get the scarf. Because I think the scarf is, this will outline the scarf better. And the hat. And then I need just this little bit of the snowman's head right over there. And a little bit over here. Not too much though. The red was too much underneath. So like I said, it's kind of a learning experience. And the more you do like the watercolor, I think the more you have an idea. Like it's not my favorite thing to do, so I don't always know which color goes first and what goes underneath and what's the outline, you know, to get the right outline. I kind of have the right idea by doing you want to do, you know, if you're in doubt, do a light color underneath, and that will help. Okay, let's see how we did here. Ooh, that made him really black, but I think that evened it out a little bit better. What do you guys think? He definitely looks a lot better. I think we did it. Okay, well, it's not my best painting, but I think you get the idea. I actually kind of think he's cute. And his sled would have looked really good with black too. So I think you could have done the whole thing with black, done the whole thing. I don't know. There's lots of different parts of it. And just a minute here, I'll get everything sort of closed up here. Isn't that cute though? I think he's a cute snowman. I still think we've got too much. Ugh, there's black on that. That's the problem. I've got black on my... We've got too much here. I'm going to lift that off. Got a piece of black on there. Too much black right there. Yeah, sometimes it does take a little bit of fuss to get it just right. And this is where, like, if you're a perfectionist, which I can totally relate, I am for sure a perfectionist. I love things to have nice, crisp lines. This one is more difficult than most, right? This one is definitely, and doing the brown for the arms, I'm not yeah, it was better to do, I think the black. I think it would have just been better if I had done the whole outline in black. But there you go. Isn't he cute? He's kind of cute, even though I don't like his nose area. No snowman is perfect, right? No snowman is perfect. And I can see actually his little button there is not as black as I would like it there. I'm just going to dot it on there. That looks better. That looks better. Okay, so then putting it back together, I'll show you how that's going to look. We have the long sides here, and I love how these have the black edge. So do you see these have a black edge? Not painting these edges really does help because, where's my other one? See how that cleans up the outside edge? The only one that's not clean, and maybe this one isn't really stuck down. It is. This puts your frame on there. Kind of cute. Edges out everything. Makes it look like a real painting. And this is going to be the clincher, right? This is going to actually... I was going to say, if it goes over the top of I'm going to be really upset. My nose. I guess it doesn't. There we go. Right there. And see, it looks like you're looking out the window at Mr. Snowman, Frosty. Guess his name would be. Isn't he the cutest? I think he's pretty cute. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think. Um, I can honestly say I'm a little bit more self-conscious about it because I'm uncomfortable, but sometimes I think it's good therapy to like work through your things that are uncomfortable and work hard at trying to try something new. And this is, something, an area that I'm not as good at doing, but I think that's a good process to go through, work through it. That's what makes it sort of a therapeutic process, right? Is that when you work on your own like inhibitions, the things that make you afraid, this, I think it's a positive thing. I think it's good. I think it's good for us to work through our insecurities. And I think when you're a perfectionist, you tend to be insecure about mistakes. What do you guys think? I do think there could be a little more work on this tree, but you kind of get the idea. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you have a very blessed week. I will be back on Thursday, and we will be back doing all kinds of fun things. Also, stick around. Sometimes I do extra, lives during the week. You just never know. Just depends on what I have for time and what we get done for homeschool and all that kind of stuff and work and all the other things. So I appreciate you all. I hope you have a very blessed day, and make sure you keep on crafting.